Hey friend, welcome to the BotBuhdy AI report. Today we've got a packed show for you. AI bots are texting voters and pretending to be candidates. AI demand is almost unlimited, but chip stocks are wobbling. AI data centers now cost more than all. U.S. transportation, states are taxing them. Anthropic just passed OpenAI in private market value, now worth $1.2 trillion. And finally, Google's own CEO just admitted they are losing the AI developer race. Let's get into it.
Here's a story that should concern everyone with a phone. Ahead of the 2026 midterm elections, political campaigns across the United States are now deploying AI. Bots that text voters directly and pretend to be the candidate. The bots are trained to sound like a specific politician, answer questions in their style, and hold back and forth conversations that feel completely real. But it doesn't stop there. While these bots are chatting, they're also collecting data, learning what issues each voter cares about, what language triggers a response, and what messaging works. That data gets fed back to the campaign to sharpen future outreach. A company called Aquilion is one of the platforms enabling this, letting campaigns run their own large language model bots at scale. There is currently no federal law requiring campaigns to disclose when a voter is talking to an AI. The FEC has not issued guidance. So right now, across America, voters are having what they believe are personal conversations with candidates, and the candidate is not home.
This one caught my eye. There is more to this story than you might think.
Chip stocks had a rough week. Samsung reported blowout earnings and its stock still dropped. Meta and xAI selling off excess compute capacity sparked fears of an AI oversupply. So is the great AI infrastructure bet finally hitting a wall? Not according to the people actually building it. Pat Gelsinger, former CEO of Intel, now a general partner at Playground Global, put it bluntly this week, quote, "I somewhat think of AI demand as almost unlimited. The only real limiter," he said, "is energy availability." Mark Boroditsky, chief revenue officer at Nebius, which builds data centers using NVIDIA hardware, said their experience has been consistent for years now. Demand far exceeds what they can fulfill. Andrew Feldman, CEO of Cerebras Systems, called Meta and xAI's excess capacity situation unique, saying the broader industry is still deeply short on data centers and the inputs to build them. The market is pricing in a slowdown. The operators are pricing in a build-out that hasn't even started yet.
Now this next story really got me thinking. This could change everything.
Here's a number that's hard to wrap your head around. AI data center spending in the United States this year has officially eclipsed the entire federal transportation budget. More money is going into server farms than into every road, bridge, railway, and airport in the country combined. And the power grid is struggling to keep up. Electrical transformers, the giant devices that step voltage up and down across the grid, are now backlogged 5 years. Power companies trying to connect new data centers are being told to come back in 2031. Some states aren't waiting for the federal government to act. Several have now passed what amount to dedicated AI power taxes, fees specifically levied on AI. Data center operators to help fund grid upgrades. The Federal Energy Regulatory Commission issued emergency orders in June to the 6 largest U.S. grid operators, telling them to rewrite their interconnection rules for massive power loads or explain why they shouldn't have to. The AI build-out is real. The question is whether the physical world can actually support it.
Okay, this next one. I am genuinely excited about this. You are going to love it.
5 years ago, Anthropic was a small team of researchers who walked out of OpenAI because they thought their former employer was moving too fast and too recklessly. This week, on the private markets where pre-IPO shares of AI companies trade, Anthropic's implied valuation crossed $1.2 trillion, officially passing OpenAI. To put that in context, OpenAI's ChatGPT still has far more consumer brand recognition, but Anthropic has been quietly winning the enterprise and developer markets. Claude Code, the AI coding assistant, is now running at over $2.5 billion annualized, and business subscriptions quadrupled since the start of 2026. Q2 2026 projections put Anthropic's quarterly revenue at roughly $10.9 billion, which would make it the company's first ever profitable quarter. An IPO now looks almost certain for late 2026 or early 2027, and at a $1.2 trillion starting point, it would be one of the largest public offerings in history. The startup that was supposed to be the responsible alternative to OpenAI may end up being the most valuable AI company in the world.
All right, let's go. This next story has me fired up. You are going to want to hear this.
In 2017, researchers at Google Brain published a paper called Attention is All You Need. It introduced the transformer architecture, the technology that every major AI model in the world is now built on. ChatGPT runs on it, Claude runs on it, Grok runs on it. Google literally invented the engine behind the AI revolution. So why is Google losing? Sundar Pichai, the company's CEO, addressed this directly in a recent interview. He acknowledged that in the race for AI. Developer mindshare, the battle to get coders to build on your tools, your APIs, your platform. Google, quote, maybe didn't quite have what it needed. He described the pace of the industry in unusually stark terms. 30 to 60 days in AI, he said, looks like 5 years. He warned Google employees that 2026 would be intense. Gemini, the company's flagship model, still lacks the brand recognition of Claude or ChatGPT. Developers reach for those tools first. The AI code tools market is projected to hit $30 billion by 2031, and Anthropic and OpenAI are currently eating Google's lunch in it. Google built the foundation, but someone else built the house.
That's all for today, friend. If you found this helpful, smash that like button and hit subscribe. I will see you tomorrow with more AI news. Until then, stay curious, stay informed, and remember, leverage your intelligence.